Imagine turning all of those scattered notes, your PDFs, and even your YouTube videos into a personal AI brain that helps you create content, trains your teams, and allows you to master any subject in minutes. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Guess what? It's not. It's called NotebookLM, built by Google. If you're a dental marketing leader, managing a DSO, multi-location group, or you are a growth-minded practice, you're constantly overloaded with research, strategies, and new tools. You need to master complex topics like Gen AI, HIPAA compliance, and conversion funnels fast. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on how I use NotebookLM, Google's secret weapon for managing massive amounts of data to boost my marketing, supercharge my team, and help me stay ahead of the curve. This isn't just another AI tool. It's a retrieval augmented generation powerhouse that only works with your data, keeping your information private and your insights incredibly relevant. I'll show you exactly how I build these AI notes, use their mind mapping features, and even generate flashcards for quick learning. Welcome to the Next Leap Academy, sponsored by New Paradigm and DSO Marketing X. I'm your host, Mark Hefner, and let's dive in how NotebookLM can transform your workflow. Are you using NotebookLM? What do you think of it? Have you even heard of NotebookLM? Well, in today's episode, I'll walk you through how I use NotebookLM and some of the cool features that can help you with your marketing team and help you with your business. Okay, in front of me right now is a screen for NotebookLM. And as you can tell, I have a lot of notebooks going on. A lot of stuff that goes on for my business, a lot of stuff that goes on with my clients, a lot of stuff that I like to learn. And the one thing to really know about NotebookLM is that it is a RAG, or also known as Retrieval Augmented Generation. So what that means is that it is not going out to the web to collect a bunch of information, kind of like regular Google Gemini does, or ChatGPT or Claude. It lives locally, or kind of lives in the cloud really, but it's living off of your data, the stuff that you feed into it. You see at least 6 notebooks here, or 8, excuse me, but I have more than that I've used to help educate me on new ideas, help to pull together ideas I can use to develop more content for myself, and also just things I want to learn about. But the most important thing to remember is that it doesn't go out to the web to go get it. And when I say that, is that once you load all this information into a notebook, that's the only thing this large language model works with. It doesn't work with everything else that's out there in the world. So let's see how we can build a notebook in NotebookLM. So we're gonna make this real simple. And right here, you have the ability to load documents. So you can load a whole bunch of documents right down here in the NotebookLM source. I can load up from my Google Workspaces. I can load it from my Google Drive that I've got, so you can go right out there and grab that information. I can put in a link, websites, YouTube videos that I want to use. So if I have my own YouTube channel, I can start using it against that. I can paste text in it, copy and paste them, or more importantly, I can discover sources. And that's usually what I do a lot of. I want to discover sources. So let's discover some sources, and I want to search the web. It has a couple of new features. So today is November 16th, 2025. NotebookLM just went through an upgrade, and there's a lot more features in it than there were just 30 days ago. Google is really working a lot with this tool. We improved a bunch since a year ago. So one of the things I'm going to do is that they've added in here is deep research. And I happen to work with a CRM that's called Go High Level. And I want to learn more about it. I want to figure out a way to become more efficient with it. I want to learn all the tools and how it works. And if you know anything about Go High Level, or also known as GHL, there are lots of tricks and stuff that go on with it and how you can use it. Let me do a deep research. I want to learn more about, let's go ahead in the organization, my organization. And I guess I should type in GHL, since that's what it's also known by. Let me hit the button. If any of you have used deep research in the past with Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, you know that it takes a while to dig this information up. So it's not going to come in right away. So let me do that. I think I also have some information sources in my system that I want to throw into here too. So let me go looking for those real quick. While it's doing that, I will do this. Doesn't like that file. So one of the things to remember is that Google Notebook does not like our Word documents. So it really likes PDF, or also another format known as Markdown. So what you need to do is you need to change your files that you want to upload, if you're not already as a PDF, into a PDF and not a Word document. And I guess it also likes to live off of the Google ecosystem. You can use Google Docs, and just recently started liking to use spreadsheets. So you can use Google Sheets also. So let me add this in. And as you can tell, it now has one source. It's still working on looking for my other stuff that I asked it to look for. Well, NotebookLM is digging up my research. One of the things I've also done, I want to take case studies that have high conversion. So I want to study how that works. So there's a couple of great things that I'm able to do. One of the things I went out and did, I went out and got, 35 sources researching what type of case studies do a great job of converting. So I pulled in a bunch of resources, and here's all the resources that I pulled in for this. And I've added a couple of my own, but there was also a deep search that NotebookLM did. The first thing I did was tell me all the information that it has in it. So you have the ability to take a look at all the data sources and get trained on it. Now you can do a podcast with them where you have two people talking, or you can do a visual. So you can take that data and it can parse it down and to give you a training video on it to let you know what works and what doesn't. So this is what came up.
You see it everywhere, right? But let's be honest, most of it is just noise. So today, we're going to slice right through all of that. We're going to figure out what actually turns a story into a real live sale, and how you can start doing it like right now. So first things first, cutting through that marketing noise.
I'm not going to take you through the whole thing, but you get the idea. You can take your sources and then you can condense it down and you can get trained on it to kind of tell you everything that's in there. All right, so that's one thing you can do with it. The other thing that it can do is this thing called a mind map. And if you've never seen the mind map before, let me generate it real quick. So here's your mind map. These are big chunks of the data that are sitting in there. The NotebookLM has categorized it into 4 major sections. But in those sections, there are a bunch of subsections to it. So in those subsections, you can go deeper into that mind map and you can understand more of what's going on. So you have subsections of subsections. With this type of mind map, you're able to learn what kind of data you have in here, where you might want to learn some more information, and what more data you might need to pull in to become proficient at what you have going on. I find the mind map real cool. I'm a visual learner and it's very visual. It tells me the type of data I have sitting in there. So with this, I can help put together a good strategy on how to build better case studies. That's the whole idea behind this NotebookLM for me. How to build a better case study so I can get better conversions. Simple, but it's not simple. We all struggle with these things. How can you make this work better? So that's one of the things that I use this for. So the other thing is you can do a report on it, do a briefing doc. I don't really use this too much because they're kind of standard, but what I do is I type in a prompt and I may ask it, give me the best strategies for developing quick hit case studies that convert in dental. Of course, now it's going through my 35 pieces that I have hidden here and trying to put it together. So one of the things I want to talk about is you can put up to 500 different files into NotebookLM. That's a lot of information it can hold on a particular subject. Now you can structure these things however you want, but my recommendation is if you're to put together a notebook that you really want to focus on one main topic, one idea, or multiple ideas that may be related to that topic. That way you can get deep into learning. Also, you can help you create content. So as you can tell, it's already plopped it out. It talks about how to optimize case studies for speed, structure, and scannability. It emphasizes quantifiable data and trust, how to leverage video snippets and optimize CTAs. So I'll have to dig into this and go into it deeper and look at it, but there's some good information in here. The other thing that this is able to do, and I will probably use it, but if you have kids who are trying to learn a subject, or you're in college, or you're trying to become a doctor, or you have MCATs you got to take and all that stuff, you can grab data and put it in here, and you can create flashcards and quizzes. Alrighty, while it's creating the flashcards, back over to our other knowledge base for Go High Level that we were working on. The high level knowledge base for Go High Level. I found 31 sources for Go High Level. I guess I should hit the plus and the import them all. Talks about the best processing apps and the other things that we can use. And what I can do is, you will get these errors sometimes that it wasn't able to bring in a guide. So something to really think about. If it doesn't, you just click it out. You know, these 3 dots over here, you just remove the source. Can't do anything with it. If I can't bring it in, I can't bring it in. There must be something wrong with the file. I just hit delete. I don't worry about it, and I just move on. Put in a prompt, so tell me what's in these files. There's 32 sources, and it kind of talks about Go High Level platform and architecture. I'd have to go through this and read it, what kind of stuff it can do, what's the ROI method. Back to what we were doing, back over the case studies, and let's see if we have flashcards. So the flashcards are up, so let's expand that out. What is tracking customer acquisition cost? You flip it over, it reveals how much is being spent. For me, this stuff is pretty simple, but you can download these flashcards and train yourself for any tests that you have coming up, especially if your kids are who are in high school, elementary school, junior high school, college, and you have classes going on. I wish I would have had this when I was in college. I could have loaded up all of my textbooks and stuff like that and started testing myself on the material and getting ready for finals. There are lots of things you can do with NotebookLM. It is a great teaching tool and training tool. The other thing we talked about is reports. You can also do a quiz with it. So let's see what happens with the quiz. So this would also be really handy. So while we're generating the quiz here real quick, I really love NotebookLM. I'm really excited by it, guys. If this is a tool you don't have in your workflow today, you should bring it in. I find it as a way to go through all of my data, because I can also bring in everything I have on my Google Drives, all of my docs, all of my sheets, and I can tie it back into my YouTube channel and have it go through all of my videos. And the other thing this also does is you can bring in audio recording. That is another great feature you have that from that. So if you're in lectures while you're in school, you can take the lectures and record those in Otter or something and upload those. We got the quizzes pulled up, so let's see what the quizzes look like real quick. According to Busy Seed article, what's the correct formula for calculating marketing return on investment? These are all really good. You got a hint down here. This metric focuses on profitability generated by marketing activities. Minus marketing costs. Let's see if it's A. And guess what? I've been doing marketing for a little while, so I got the answer right off the bat. So this is a great tool on this side also. That's kind of all I've got on NotebookLM. I'm sure I'm just scratching the surface on everything it can do. I've been using NotebookLM now for 18 months. It has gotten a lot better since the original version came out. And you don't hear a lot about it from Google. It sits outside of the whole Google ecosystem. When I say that, it's for Gemini. So you can't get into it from a Gemini platform or from Gemini AI Studios. You just log into it and you got to sign into it from a Google account. So guys, I really like NotebookLM. I found it a very valuable tool. It has really gotten a lot better ever since I've been using it. They're coming out with more and more features. And the stories I'm hearing is that this NotebookLM will end up acting and working a lot like Gemini in the future. They've already put in deep research. They've already put in some other stuff in there. Hopefully soon I can just load in Word doc instead of having to convert it into a PDF, but it's already working off of the Google environment, off of Google Sheets and in Google Docs. There are a lot of opportunities for you to use this and a lot of ways to help yourself in school, help yourself with your business. If you're a content creator, you can use it that way also. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate it. If you want to learn more, follow me on YouTube, follow me on LinkedIn. That's how you get a hold of me. I'm, again, your host, Mark Hefner. You can reach me at mhefner@newparadigm.com. Until next time, have a great rest of your day, guys.